Hey there, everybody. Today I want to share with you my time-tested, foolproof method for hiring virtual assistants that essentially works every single time. And I say this coming from 10 years of experience working with virtual assistants. Now, I'm making this video because I've had question after question after question of, hey, Trent, I've tried to hire VAs and I don't find the right ones, or they don't work out, or I get turnover, or they're not doing the work properly, and I've give up. I get that over and over and over again. And the reason that's happening is because they're doing it wrong. When we hire a VA, it's not a traditional employee interview where we're asking them all about their backgrounds and so forth. So let me walk you through the exact process that we've been using now for years to find VAs that work out virtually every single time that we hire them. Method number one is obviously you're going to write a post on whatever platform that you're going to advertise for a VA. Typically we use Upwork and onlinejobs.ph. And you're going to be descriptive. This is the thing that I need you to do. And the very first little trick is your last sentence, or somewhere in that job description, you want to put a sentence that says something to the effect of, when you submit your application, in the very first sentence, please include the word blueberry or whatever little code word you would like. So why are we doing that? Because we want to make sure that the people who apply are reading the entire job description. Why do we want that? Because we want people who pay attention to details. So if you get applications that don't contain the word blueberry, of which you will receive many, in the first sentence, you can just hit the delete button because they didn't follow your instructions even on the application process. So the chances of them following the instructions on the job are slim to none. So right away, that will significantly reduce the number of applicants that you receive. Now here's the next trick. Don't do traditional interviews with all these people to get them to tell you about their past work experience and the jobs they've done and how they handled this situation and how they handled that situation. Because if you are doing 20-minute interviews and you're doing, say, 10 of them, that's 200 minutes of time plus negotiate or scheduling, and that's just an immense amount of work. We don't do that. Instead, what we do is we scan the people that included the word blueberry. We look for the ones that look like they have the most potential. And then we're going to pick 5 of them, and we're literally going to pay them to do whatever this thing is. So as I mentioned in my previous video, which will be also somewhere on this page, about how we create standard operating procedures, we always have a pre-made procedure for every role that we're going to hire a VA to do. So we've already got the SOP. So now we're going to pay 5 people to do the SOP, but we trick them a little bit. And how we trick them is let's say we know it's going to take 15 minutes. We tell them it's going to take an hour. And so then we hire the 5 people and we say, this will take you about an hour. Here's the instructions, knock yourself out, and we're going to pay you for your time. Now, here's what's going to happen. Some people are going to come back to you and they're going to say, yep, took me the whole hour, but I got it done. And then other people who are going to be more honest with you are going to say, no, that only took me 15 minutes. So what you're looking for are, of your 5, the one person, or maybe you want 2 people, you could hire 2, the top 1 or 2 people that followed the instructions, got the desired result with the fewest amount of questions, and they didn't BS you about the amount of time it took them. And they got it done in the amount of time that you would normally expect someone who maybe is doing it maybe it's 15 minutes, but first time, let's give them a half hour, but for sure it's not an hour. If you follow that process, I guarantee you that you will have a great deal of success finding the right virtual assistants to join your organization. Now, once they've joined, there's a couple of other things that are really important for you to do. Thing number 1, treat them like real people. They are, just because they're in the Philippines or Mexico or wherever they are, doesn't mean they're just this little worker robot who just bows down to you and does whatever you put on their desk. That is not the way to endear loyalty. The way to endear loyalty is to know their culture and the things that they expect. So, for example, in the Philippines, there's this thing called the 13th month. You give them an extra month's pay at Christmas time. I believe it's Christmas time. My wife is the one that handles when the 13th month gets paid. Make sure you pay them the 13th month. Give them their birthday off. Celebrate wins that they contributed to. If you use Slack, for example, and we have like a thing called a thread of awesome, make sure that the other people on your team know that whatever win you're celebrating, who contributed to that win. Because everybody likes to get recognition for work well done. So if you do those things, and plus whatever else you think up, not only will you have success attracting and hiring the right VAs to help your business move forward, but they'll stay with you. I've had VAs that have been with us for years because we regularly give them employment reviews. We regularly give them little raises. We give them the 13th month. We give them the birthday off. We celebrate victories in public amongst everybody on our team. All right, my final thing that I want to make sure that you're aware of is if you run an agency and you would, love to have a complete playbook, of standard operating procedure templates that you could just bolt right into your business so you can take this advice about hiring VAs and immediately start delegating things to other people on your team. And you'll be able to save 10, 20 hours a week by doing this because there's a whole bunch of stuff that agency founders are typically doing that they shouldn't be doing. If you'd like to get access to something like that, we are running a private beta group limited to 30 participants between now and January when the launch of the playbook happens. And we're only accepting 30 people, as I mentioned. We're having an information session, an online meeting in Zoom, not a webinar, an online meeting where everybody gets to talk. And I'll moderate it and I'll answer all the questions. And I'm going to explain what's involved in the private beta, the type of people that we're looking for, what you get. Now, hint, you do get like 80%, 75 to 80% off the cost of the playbook. So this is not an expensive thing to participate in versus what it's going to cost when it's made available to everybody. And you're going to get ongoing coaching during the workshop period from myself and the other experts that I've collaborated with to create this playbook. So you're going to get a whole lot of help for very, very little money. Plus you get lifetime discounts on the Flowster software and so forth. There's a bunch of really cool stuff that we are going to make sure that the people who participate with us in the creation of this playbook get to benefit from. So somewhere around this video, there's a button where you can, if you want to ask questions, it'll link you to a Facebook post and you can ask all sorts of questions and I'll answer them for you. And then there's another button that will take you to the registration page so that you can attend this online meeting. We are limiting it to 100. So only 100 people are going to be there and 30 of them are going to be able to be. Now, if we get way, way more than 100, I guess maybe I'll bump up my Zoom online meeting limit and have a higher limit. Maybe it'll be more than 100, but it's not going to be more than 30 people accepted into the private beta program, and the meeting will not be recorded. So if you want to have the opportunity to apply, you do need to be there live. If you can't be there live, you can email me beforehand and you can say, hey man, I want to be in this private beta program, and you can submit and I'll figure out a way to get you to submit an application prior to the meeting taking place. But once it's done, it's done. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I look forward to seeing you on the 28th. Take care. Bye-bye.